Marines definitely have close ties. We designed it that way, that we have different squads operating from this base on a rotating schedule. Different squads, so they get to know their AO and they also get to know the people, so that when we go out, some of them have taken Arabic names. We have a Lance Corporal who goes by Wissam now. The IPs know him as Wissam. He goes out in town and he talks to the kids and they call him Wissam. It's just a good way to get to know him. And again, it provides that security. So instead of just being myself plus a bunch of people they don't like, a bunch of Marines they don't like, it's me plus other Marines that the population does know. And they recognize that those Marines, number one, can't speak Arabic, so they can't talk with them. And number two, are there more for security. So they have a kind of a "Don't bother me, I'm working" sign, posted mentally across the front of their, 3 foot by 3 foot box that they're standing in. And they redirect those people to me anyway. But they are involved in the community and they do talk to the children and wave and shake hands and stuff. But it's more along the lines of, like, they're carrying the weapon, their hand is on the pistol grip, their fingers right off the trigger. Someone waves, they wave, and then they just go right back to holding that pistol grip with the finger right off the trigger and the thumb on the safety.
Okay. I just assume that's important, that the populace can't feel threatened by the Marines, which I understand. Just a year ago, the relationship between the population in the city and the Marines was actually pretty poor. When you first got here, did you have to actually develop that relationship, or was it?
When we first got here, I'd say people were indifferent. People, we got the two phrases we used a lot were mean mugging and eye fucking. We got a lot of eye fucking, like dudes just kind of like staring us down as we walk down the street. And we still get that to a certain extent. There's some people you're just not going to win over in a country that you invaded and dominated for 4 years. Especially guys my age. I would be the same way in America if somebody did that to our country. At least I'm surprised they're that friendly to us, to not give us the time of day when we go out on patrol, but at least stay in the same street as we are, or hang out and talk and be happy in their lifestyle. But I would say they were indifferent when we showed up, because we weren't doing this. 1-6, like I said, had just finished 6-7 months of kinetic fighting, pushing all of AQIZ out of the city. By the time they were done,
AQIZ?
Al Qaeda in Iraq.
Oh, okay.
By the time they were done, the people were like, "Yes, AQIZ is out. Now what?" And so it was kind of like we came in, and with our focus and our effort, we came in at the perfect time, like a political event where the populace was ripe for the picking. They were like, "Okay, we don't like AQIZ. We don't really know the Marines or the coalition forces. We're on the fence right now. Like, somebody pitch me and convince me which way to go, and I'll vote for it." Basically, with my heart and my mind, because I can't vote with my thumb for Americans. It was like, okay, who's got it? Who's got it? And we came in. We're patrolling every day. We're talking to everybody we can see. We're taking care of sewer problems. We're getting city electricity back online. It's like, hey, everyone was like, okay, you sold me. You got my vote. So I would say our popularity in the AO is probably, I couldn't put a number on it because we don't do official surveys and everything we see is skewed. Like we know, as coalition forces, we probably know 20% of what goes on in our area. That doesn't sound like a lot, but in a kinetic fight, say like in 2005 when 3-7 was here before, they probably knew 3%, if that, of what was going on in each company's AO. Or maybe probably not even that much, maybe 1%, 1.5% of everything that was going on in their AO. Now we know 20. We know 10 times as much as we knew last year. We still don't know everything. So all I do know is that when I go out, I always get positive atmospherics. We used to rank patrols in terms of atmospherics between a 1 and a 10. 1 being, indication warning of an impending terrorist attack, and 10 being like they're dancing in the streets and celebrating your arrival as you turn the corner. We never had a patrol go below a 6. We eventually got rid of that atmosphere because it was like, it's positive every single time we go out. So why, like, it's 7, 7, 7, 8, 7, 7. Okay, like, I'm tracking. They're always 7s. Like, we don't need to record that anymore. Just let us know if something significantly different happens out in zone, and then that's like a notable event. If you had, say, a 4 or a 2, like, yeah, that would be way, like, definitely reportable to the company commander, the battalion commander. It's like, hey, really funky patrol today. Something didn't feel right. Didn't see anybody. Didn't get any waves or smiles or something. Like something's going on, and that would be easily cause for the entire focus of the station to shift to, hey, what is this that is changing the population's perception of us? Because, like I said, the population is absolutely the critical and fundamental element that allows us to succeed here, whether they like us or whether they don't.
And you haven't seen any of that yet?
No. The souk has always been less warm than
souk. That's what
it's Arabic for market. It's in the middle of, it's at the far edge of it's in the middle of most of Ramadi, and it's within RAO here at Azzizziyah.
It's not like the traditional market we got back home, where it's just a grocery store. This is actually a network of streets.
No, yeah. If you imagine like downtown Mexico City, 10-story buildings with a million awning covered shops and stalls out in the streets and people hawking jewelry.